All right. Well, we're on, so unless you want to incriminate yourself, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, we were just talking about fun stuff. Yeah. With fun people.
Just some locker room talk.
Yeah, just boys being boys.
Just boys being boys.
Some real pussy grabbing talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So she kept saying no.
And then what'd you do?
Imagine starting a podcast like that. All right, we're on. All right, so yeah, so she just kept saying no. I went for it.
But was it like a coin no? Like a no? Or
Yeah, we all know 20 no's means no.
Yes,
But
come on, let's get
she
real.
She was like at 17, and
Bro, you know how hard it is?
shooter's going to shoot.
You know how hard it is to work past adamant no's? That takes real game.
Yeah, that takes real.
It's day game stuff, brother.
Yo, you got to have the instinct. You got to go beyond the books.
You got to nag them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nag them good.
That's always how I always felt about pimps. I think we've talked about this, but they're like, you don't understand the game it takes to get a woman addicted to heroin and then beat her until she has sex with men for money.
Yeah.
That's what we call swag.
You gotta be, you gotta be real suave.
Look how massive Jace looks, and look how small I look
I
next to
know.
him.
It's partly an optical
Well, yeah, 'cause you're
illusion.
It's kind of
If
an
you move
optical
forward,
illusion, but
Yeah.
it is crazy how Jace could kill us all with,
I'm
with
going
his
to
bare
try to
hands.
maintain this stance.
She always stands the whole podcast.
Yeah, I always,
Because you're worried you're being emasculated.
Yeah.
yeah, you just pull out dumbbells like Polly Walnuts.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Sorry.
Tony
Yeah, yeah.
Sirico.
That killed. That was so
That was very sad. He was very sick for a long time, though.
He started having like Parkinson's or something.
Yeah.
He had like dementia.
Remember in that reunion, he did not look good.
He couldn't really talk.
I had him on a couple podcasts and he'd just be like, hey,
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Still holding it
He goes,
together.
remember me? Remember this?
My hand can only do this now
Hey,
because of my rheumatoid arthritis.
Very presidential of him, but other than that,
now. Oh.
Hey, they glue my fingers like this in meet and greets because I can't bend them no more.
No, what a weird guy.
What a life.
Unique talent that we will never see anything like ever again.
No, the guy was like a legitimate gangster who then wound up playing one of the greatest characters ever.
with amazing comedic timing.
With great comedic timing.
I saw a tweet that was like, apparently during table reads when characters would get killed off, everybody was always very like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're going to be leaving the show. And then Tony Sirico would come in 10 minutes late and they'd be like, oh, he's dying?
He'd make machine gun noises at the character who's about to die. He's a legend.
Yeah, and he told the writers Paulie can never be killed off or be a rat.
And they were like afraid of that.
Yeah.
And they never made him. It was never a rat. Well, actually, he talked to John Sacrimoni here and there, but that's not like being a rat.
He was petty.
Yeah. And then he's the last one. He's literally like the last guy that lives. He lives through it all.
Yeah, that iconic shot of him
With the cat.
Yeah.
And, it's amazing.
That's almost like the most depressing part of his character is because he's such a neutral member of the crew. They're like, we got to take out the big guys, and there's a point where they're like, well, what about Paulie? Won't? And they're like, nah.
Yeah.
Well, he
who
lived
cares?
through the 70s when
Yeah.
the Columbos were going at it.
Yeah.
But
I
no-
lived through the Columbo era by the skin of my balls.
Yeah.
And he has, I think, maybe my favorite scene ever in television. Just Christopher going like, you ever feel like nothing good's ever going to happen to you?
He goes, yeah, and it didn't.
Yeah.
So what? So what?
Really, it actually like kind of freeing.
It does. It makes you feel great.
Yeah.
You're like, let's just go get a steak and, who cares about
Like,
life
that's life.
being meaningful?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Go drink a Bang energy drink and do a vape or something. You know, you'll
It's been
feel
a
something.
rough, weird month for. It's like all the mobsters, like in movies, like called each other. They're like, "Is this your week? You doing it?
Yeah.
They're like, you gonna die this week?" Right.
Did you watch Many Saints? All right, let's all.
Yeah. Tony Sirico, James Caan, Ray Liotta, and Gilbert Godfrey.
The four gangsters.
Yeah, the Rat Pack. Oh yeah, and Ashley Babbitt. No,
Wait, who was Ashley Babbitt?
she died in the Capitol riot. She was,
right.
she was the one that got shot in the face.
Yeah, that was a pretty funny video.
Yeah, it was good. Unfortunately, it's sad. I guess.
Yeah, it'll always be funny to me
Yeah.
to die in the Capitol.
I mean, this is. Have you ever seen this interview with Tony Sirico, Jays?
Yeah, maybe.
This shit is insane.
I pay for them. I did what I had to do.
Did you ever go to jail?
Yeah,
How many times?
Treat times.
a few times.
couple of three times.
Did you kill?
And ask me
Did I
that.
what?
I mean, it already is like a masterful performance, and he's just himself. It looks so good, and he's so just. I mean, they don't make guys like this anymore.
No.
Will we ever have guys like this on screen ever again?
Not like this ever. No.
No, the whole genre is dying off.
Yeah.
You're risking me?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
This type of
You'll have to
person will
ask my
never
brother,
exist
priest.
again, ever.
Do you believe in God?
You gotta ask me that.
I'm a fucking atheist, you dumb fuck.
Have you ever read Richard Dawkins, The God Delusion? Fuckface.
God, huh? I read a guy by the name of Christopher Hitchens, you fucking mook. Okay? He used to go on Real Time with Bill Maher all the time.
Bill Maher was great. He shits on every religion, even Islam, which needs to get shit on from time to time. They do some fucked up stuff.
I know it's not popular, but they do some,
It's not popular. Listen, they knocked down the towers. My cousin was stealing out of those towers. He died. It was terrible. It's a terrible tragedy.
We'll be here.
I think he tells like a story about like essentially killing a guy in this interview. He's like, yeah, I threw him off, I threw him off like an 8th story,
Threw him off a boat.
Threw him off a boat. Threw him off
Killed
a boat.
Natalie Wood.
It's really hard for me to explain. I just went downhill from there. It was an eventual divorce, and that's why my kids and me are not that close. And I wish I could have changed that somewhere along the line. I was madly in love with this girl. I mean, I was madly in love with her. I left my wife for her, left my 2 kids for her. Don't ask me why. I used to I was quiet around her. But the moment somebody would look at her, or I would think they were looking at her, or maybe even you're right. Maybe I wanted to show her that I was in her defense. I gave a lot of guys beatings for her.
For her.
We were in Sheepshead Bay one night. Joe's Clam Bar.
This is it, yeah.
And I was inside getting cigarettes, and she was outside ordering whatever, and some sailor came by and was talking to her. And I freaked out, and I'm telling you, I freaked out. I went outside, and I just started wailing on him. But I mean, I gave him a beating.
Look at those beautiful pillow
I
lips.
overdid it, I wasn't in my right head. I mean, it was a bad time in my life. That's why I'm telling you about it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I am ashamed of it, but this helps me. When I was done giving him that beating, I threw him over the rail into the water, into the bay. And he hit the boat. There was a fishing boat there. He hit the boat. I don't even know to this day what happened to this guy.
He goes, that guy was Christopher Reeves. To this day, don't know what happened to him.
No idea. Great Superman, though. My favorite, Superman 3, The Quest for Peace.
I don't appreciate what Eminem said about him in the 90s. I don't appreciate that.
I did not appreciate how much they had Richard Pryor in that movie. I personally edited him out.
These guys abandoned their families like for breakfast.
Yeah. Well, I always love those guys later in life. They they just don't understand like morality or like how things. They're like, I don't get it. You know, I robbed and beat people for 30 years, and things don't work out. Somehow
it takes them to like 75 to be like, yeah, I've been thinking about my life. I don't think I did a lot of good.
No.
I have some regrets.
I have some regrets.
Yeah, but they're so like they can't be like actually like like a therapy type person.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like, no, so I just, I am in my apartment by myself and nobody comes and sees me anymore. Yep. And that's just how gangsters do it.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
he's just steaming his tracksuits in his apartment by himself.
6 pairs of white shoes. He's watching Married with Children.
On a sofa.
Laughing like a psychopath.
On a sofa with the covers on it.
Yeah, laughing like Cape Fear by himself. Applauding in his studio apartment.
One of the funniest scenes ever, by the way, is when Tony's so sick of him on their trip to Florida together.
Yeah.
And then he's finally like, okay, I'm back to my own hotel. I'm away from it, thank God. And he goes out into his balcony and he hears him again.
And he's disgusted.
Yeah, watching TV.
He's like, fucking annoying.
When he's stealing all the fucking muffins from the hotel lobby.
For the road.
For the road.
He's telling some stranger some story about, committing a crime.
And we go down to Baltimore. What are you talking to him for?
Oh, amazing. God, rest in peace.
Yeah. It's a sad day.
Sad day.
Yeah, James Conn, who I didn't know was Jewish, by the way.
I didn't know either.
Yeah.
I didn't know he also ended up looking. He looked. I saw him 5 years ago. He was
Now
James Caan.
Now he's Freddy Krueger.
God, he turned into Kirk Douglas overnight.
As Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, he was an unmistakable force on screen. Volatile.
My sister again, I'll kill you.
Combustible.
Hey, come here.
But for many of us,
He had such
our
broad
first memory of
shoulders.
James
Yeah, he
Caan
was like,
came
that
from
was
a made-for-TV
70s Jack.
movie,
Yeah.
Brian song.
When they have a button-up
know,
shirt on, like
our
their
blue whale was
shoulders are
wrong
going
with me.
above their ears. They're like, hey, whoa.
Hey, I got PTSD from the war.
Hey, I'm a street guy.
Based
But
on
I
the
hear
true story
voices in
of
the
Chicago's
walls.
I'm haunted by everything I've ever done to a woman.
And Ray Liotta, how did Ray Liotta die? He was like, he kind of went in his sleep, right?
Yeah, I think his head was just too big.
Yeah.
It just like gave out.
His heart couldn't beat enough blood to his
It's
head.
like when a mine shaft collapses because it's too big. One of his folds just folded in.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Chilean people trapped underneath his head.
Yeah, I could see him just doing that laugh from Goodfellas, and then just part of his vein pops out of his face.
The laugh probably, made him die quicker. Right. Like that probably set something off in the '90s when he was doing that laugh.
Yeah.
Just going.
Yeah, you get brain freeze while he did it.
Yeah. Oh man.
I know.
Well, this is the quote.
But lately, I'm getting the feeling.
Also, right before Ray Liotta, didn't that guy
Richie talked right over the
Herman something die?
You talked right over the quote.
What?
You talked right over the quote.
They've all seen it.
We're playing the quote.
All right,
What
play
is
it
the
then.
quote
Let's
from?
watch it. Let's
Yeah, you
go.
ruined the
Rewind
quote.
it. Well, I talked over it,
You talked over the quote.
so you can play it again.
You think you're a funny
Talk
guy?
over it. It was a 3-second
We all
quote.
have like a fake mafia stared at.
It was a 3-second quote.
And he couldn't not talk for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You're fucking with me.
Couldn't not
You're
talk for
fucking
3
with
seconds.
me.
Yeah, Goodfellas on a podcast.
You.
Anyway, what were you saying? You
Herman-
fucking mutt. You.
Jesus Christ.
Herman
Just
what?
play the quote.
We already played
Herman, he died like 2 months before Ray Liotta, too.
Who?
He played, I can't, he's just one of the 4 dudes that have died this year, 4 mafia actors.
He was in that scene?
No, he was in The Sopranos, I think. He was in.
The Hesh died?
No, Hesh is close to dying. He's in his
Hesh is
90s.
Hesh is dead, yeah.
Yeah, I killed Hesh.
Yeah.
Hesh is dead? All right.
Oh, no, Hesh might not
Jerry
be dead.
Jerry
No,
I
Adler's-
don't think Hesh.
No, Jerry Adler's still alive.
Oh, you're thinking of Feach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Robert Loggia. Or
Yeah.
Loggia.
Oh, yeah, Robert Loggia.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Who played a Puerto Rican, I think, in Scarface?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
they literally just put Trump makeup on him
They
and a
used to
mustache.
always do that.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Mexican is played by like Woody Allen. They just would throw Jews.
Yeah.
They're like, he's got a tan. He's
If I
Mexican.
see your gringo ass around here anymore. Truly, this has been the good and the bad and the ugly.
The water, just the agua, it accepts my stomach.
You
know?
gotta. Montezuma's Revenge is a killer.
Oh, Bobby Lee, don't go have sex with her. She's only 15 years old. Don't go in there.
Complaining about the prices in a cantina.
300 pesos. My God.
You guys don't have any tuna sandwiches? He's in like Tijuana.
Can I get a whore without any gonorrhea? That would be fantastic. I swear, every single one of them, it looks like a fucking marshmallow factory burned down there.
All the Native Americans too. Were every Native American in like old cowboy movies was played by
Italians.
Italian guys. Yeah,
They're
everything
like,
was
they're
so
dark
backwards.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, well, it's we got to get used to this. Every one of these guys is going to start going.
Yeah. I mean, none of them are in good shape, like at all.
No.
They all look like shit.
Or they're simply getting old.
It's also remarkable he even, like, Tony Sirico even made it to 79. I'm sure he, like, smoked, drank, fucking, beat up. It's amazing. Just the life these guys live is unbelievable.
Yeah. The partying, the
parties,
women.
It's crazy their dicks don't fall off at, like, 40 and they all get shot in the head at a diner. Like,
he probably had, like, a syphilitic brain.
Yeah, probably.
Like Al Capone.
Yeah, exactly.
He must have been fucking, and he seems like a guy that just wouldn't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I fucked a girl in a Santa hat once. It was too distracting.
Yeah, he just has worms in his brain from some weird STD he got in Mexico. And then they spend the rest of their lives just going to these Sopranos meet and greets where people are just throwing, like, I'm sure, like, capicola and salamis at them and cigars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, James Gandolfini died because he, like, just the food that Tony ate was every scene they're doing 50 takes. He's eating like 30 lasagnas in like a 2-hour span.
Yeah. I mean, there's scenes in The Sopranos where you can almost not hear his lines from his heavy like mic nose breathing.
And he already had a breathing issue.
Yeah,
like,
he sounded like a pug.
He did.
Actors always complain about when they have to do an eating scene because, like, oh no, I have to, like, keep. They bring out, like, if we do 20 takes, I have to eat this thing 20 times. But with Gandolfini, there's, like, a famous story where he would just keep eating even when they'd stop filming. And he would just keep eating.
Right. They're like, all right, cut. We said cut.
He's like, yeah, I know.
He's just grabbing meatballs off the plate. Tony, we can rap. All right, I'm gonna.
It's crazy you even have the energy to keep, like, doing your scene. He's not just passing out in food comas.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna take this tree of meatballs, go listen to Green Day in my trailer, and then just hate myself terribly. Because apparently that was true. He thought he was a terrible actor, right?
He had like low self-esteem.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do interviews, James Gandolfini, because he said, like, nobody interviews, like, truck drivers, like, nobody cares about what they do, like, what is it? Why am I any different?
He thought of himself as, like, a piece of shit, like, truck driver.
Yeah.
Even when he got that big pay raise, he just divvied it amongst the cast. I think because he literally was like, I don't, why do I get paid more?
Yeah. Well, when he died, like, after he died, a bunch of stories came out where it was like, oh. And we found out that he paid my mortgage. Like, some anonymous guy paid my mortgage. We didn't know who it was. We found out it was him.
Yeah.
Like, he was just doing stuff like that.
And the stuff he did for Jamie Lynn Sigler and Robert Adler.
Eiler.
Making sure that they didn't, like, spend their money too much and, like, calling their parents.
We're now memorializing James Gandolfini.
I mean, that's really who it comes back to.
Let's be honest.
Like, Tony Sirico just died.
Yeah.
We're like, Tony Sirico, he stood so close to Gandolfini. Because he was great at The Sopranos, but it's not really like acting like that.
He's himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And he got 38 years on James Gandolfini, all right? You had your day in the sun, Tony. All right, enough of you.
We gave him due time.
We go from being, it's amazing. We're like, memorialize the guy. We're like, all right, what do you want? A big party? Shut up, oldie.
Yeah. Tony Soprano died 12 years ago, all right? I'm still mourning it.
I went to David Proval, who played Richie Aprile on The Sopranos.
Yeah.
His Instagram, this is when you know it's like, God, fuck, dude. You get to this age and everything must be so sad. Every single post on David Proval's Instagram is a picture of an old guy in mob movies that just died. The only thing he posts are like, oh, I had a great time with this. It's just a picture of an old guy with a fucked up face. And he's just, it's his whole Instagram is just like an obituary for people.
R.I.P. Jimmy Goutfoot. Guadalani.
Jimmy.
And then you look up the guy and it's like, he killed 12 children in a boating accident. They're like, he did a great walk-on piece on fucking some dumb shit. He played a mobster in the Addams Family TV show. And he was
very
great.
good app on Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
How did you love there's this whole cabal of just Italian actors who only do these movies and nothing else at all?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Sirico, Sopranos legend, also just died.
Which one was he?
He was just a bodyguard at the Bing. He played for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's dead?
He died, yeah.
That's the one that hurts.
I'm going to go home, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He actually died in the hot dog eating contest.
Joey Chestnut.
Choked him out. Yeah.
Joey Chestnut. Did you guys see that video?
Oh, that was a
Chestnut
great video.
Kicking that guy's ass.
With hot dog all in his mouth.
It's the first time I felt proud to be an American this year.
Yeah.
That on crutches he choked out a guy.
Who was the guy that ran in
He
there?
was like a vegan protester.
Oh,
like he was
good.
protesting eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard about these assholes who are deflating SUV tires in San Francisco as like a protest? Yeah, they're just going around.
For what?
Because it's a gas guzzler?
Yeah, and they'll leave a note on your car like, "Sorry, it's not you, but our officials aren't doing anything about it. So I'm sorry. I know this is inconvenient, but we're protesting."
Sorry,
Yeah.
your whole family might get wiped out on the way home. What does that even do? They deflate the tires so you can't drive?
Yeah, you can't drive. You got to now go get a new tire. I mean, it's
just call AAA and have them bring a tank out. Yeah.
What a
they're just
city full of retards.
Yeah, you're trying to make your point to just inconvenience your fellow citizen. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're stepping in shit while they do it.
Yeah,
They're deflating a tire and then they get stabbed between the ribs. The big heroin needle.
Someone's living in the tire and pops out and robs them.
Yeah, they're always like, "Hey, in the winter, make sure to scare the homeless people out from under your car before you start it." Like they're just cats. You have to go and be like, "Hey, come on,
Shoot!"
They just scurry around like little bugs.
Yeah, they sell bug spray for homeless people in San Francisco. You got to put off on before you take a walk down the Mission.
Yeah. I just figured out Harvey Milk, by the way, was a pederast.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, I had no idea.
Harvey Milk, gay?
Harvey Milk was
I'm
gay?
watching Milk. I'm like, whoa, all right. These are some liberties, all right, pal.
He was a pederast?
Yeah, he was his boyfriend in the movie, played by James Franco, was like 15 years old.
Oh, really?
In real life.
Different times.
Different time. Gays have different.
They play by different rules.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that's a cultural thing?
Yeah.
They play like Aussie League football. Like it's just a little different.
Yeah, it's just
they play international basketball with the big triangle. lanes.
Yeah. The ball's a little smaller. Everything's a little younger. That is the thing that you get. It's like you're not sure. Like, is he really though, or was he? Like, yeah, sure, he is. I guess, like technically, but in the gay community, it's like I don't know. In the movie, it's like he's taking in suicidal, confused young gay men and the movement, and then on top of it, you maybe get a little kicks off a little bit.
Get a little something for daddy.
It makes perfect sense. Like, he's taking in a bunch of like vulnerable kids. Like, of course he's fucking them. He's a pervert.
That is really the way to make a charitable country, is to be like, as long as you're doing some good, you get to fuck every couple. You know, every 10th one you get to fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
like Sandusky. He had a big charity. He only fucked like 40 of them. You know?
Sandusky had a charity?
Yeah, that's how he was fucking the kids.
Oh, well, that makes it all.
Anyone who's taking in like people who are like in a bad place, I'm suspicious.
Subway Jared, same thing. He was molesting kids through his charity.
Really?
Yeah, and they'd always be like, find a vulnerable, like no parents, shitty home life situation. Those are the kids you end up molesting. Because they're just hotter.
Right.
They're nice and thin.
Well, there's nothing better than disenfranchised pussy.
That disenfranchised pussy be hidden different.
I love that disenfranchised booty hole.
Not my disenfranchised ass. Get molested by Subway Jared.
Ooh, your parents said you're going to hell? Just got here from Nebraska? Ooh, la la la.
Ooh, why don't you live in my camera shop?
Well, I'm Harvey Milk. We do things a little differently here in Frisco.
The milkman's coming now.
Your parents made you live in a cupboard for 2 weeks, you say. Well, welcome home to Milkland.
Yeah, why don't you throat this Twinkie for me?
Remember when Kevin Spacey got caught being a pedophile, and then he was like, "Listen, folks, I'm gay."
I'm gay.
That was like his excuse.
Yeah, no, really. He's like, I'm a proud gay man. I've always lived as a gay man. And that really, it feeds into the thing. He's like, no, they were 14-year-old boys.
That really,
you don't understand. They were boys.
That got him in so much trouble.
Yeah.
That's like, God, somebody like, he's a known thief. And he's like, listen, everyone, I'm Puerto Rican.
Everybody's like, oh, sorry.
Oh, my God. All right.
My apologies.
We'll delete the article.
I didn't know you're something I don't understand.
And then his next move was to be like, I know what will save me, doing Frank Underwood into a camera every few months for no reason.
I'm sad he doesn't. I was sad the first Christmas he didn't do it.
I know. It was funny to me.
Because every Christmas Eve, he'd be like, hey, everybody, I'm back to
Frank Underwood.
Frank Underwood here.
He goes, I've been accused of licking 14-year-old balls like a small cat sips his milk right before. That was the Frank Underwood. It was just like it's just a bunch of like analogies. Like politics is like near the park and they hear the birds and the trees.
That was literally his. Like he's like, I know how I'll just come on as the most evil character in all of TV.
Yeah,
and be like, well, my daddy said that the younger the berry, the sweeter the juice. Knock on the table. It was like, oh my God, Christ.
And then it is like, he's like, he just went in. I think that's a trauma response for him, right? Where he's like, oh my God, like everything I ever did, like I'm now just known as like a rapist pedophile to people.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing I was acclaimed for? My Frank Underwood character, who's evil, who's an evil character. So I'll be him, to like even speak publicly.
His other choice was just to come out as the guy from Seven, just like covered in blood, screaming.
I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
Him doing Frank Underwood. He's like in court. He's like, Your Honor, I was a president of the United States.
If the president molests a child, it's not a crime.
You're going to prosecute the first sitting president.
My wife is currently the president.
An executive decision, Your Honor.
I needed the adrenochrome to run this great country.
You know what this says about democracy, Your Honor, for you to prosecute me, a president. Yeah. Well, this is maybe the most fun headline I've seen in a real long time. Anne Frank. Did she have white privilege? Twitter debates.
I also love that it's TMZ.
TMZ doing it. Yeah, like they ran into her at the airport.
Anne,
over here, Anne, stop hiding, Anne.
She just goes,
Frank.
Anne, you don't need to crouch anymore, Anne. We're right here, Anne.
She's in the attic, just shh. Anne for Jewish Anne Frank, hiding in the attic. Anne, any comments?
Anne, were you just on first class? Was that first class you just got off, Anne? Is that white privilege, Anne?
They're at the office with that big container of water. He goes, Anne Frank, I mean, what did she even do, really?
Holding frappuccinos.
Yeah. Some dumbass with the backwards hat. He's like, I didn't even read her dumbass book.
Yeah.
They're all laughing.
Who reads anymore, dude?
Yeah, just a room full of sociopaths cackling.
TMC's awful.
Yeah.
But this is like literally a thing. Like, hold on, I want to make sure I say this carefully. Yeah, Anne Frank had white privilege. Bad things happen to people with white privilege also, but don't tell the whites that. Oh my God.
Yeah, Anne Frank, that Aryan piece of shit.
There's people on Twitter that are like, yeah, listen, the Nazis gave Anne Frank a fix-it ticket. It was,
Yeah, can you imagine if she had been black, what they would have done?
Right.
Yeah.
Think that family would have let a black stay in the attic? I don't think so.
That's wild.
The black people had to stay in the basement. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Exactly, and they didn't give them something to write with.
Everything is truly over when you see headlines like that. Anne Frank had white privilege?
Yeah,
what does that even mean?
Yeah. I mean, she's not even white. She's Jewish.
She's Jewish, right. But no, their thing is that they don't even, the people saying that this is white privilege, they're like, she was white. She couldn't just blend in.
Yeah. Just put on a uniform, man.
They think, I mean,
get the goose stepping in.
The Holocaust was like a game of hide and seek.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Anne Frank has been unofficially uninvited from the cookout.
Anne Frank's uninvited.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Were there, and this is a serious question, were there Jewish people who passed as non-Jewish during the Holocaust?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
probably.
Don't hear about that.
How did they do it? Did they take your blood, or did they just check your like?
I think you were like you probably was just known if you're Jewish. Like
people outed each other, and
right.
they were scared, so they'd be like, "Yeah, Jew lives right over there. Lives right over there.
Right,
get him."
Well, even a lot of the Jews became capos in the camp, and that was how they got by. Was basically like running the other Jews.
Yeah.
And if you read like Man's Search for Meaning, he said that the capos were sometimes much more vicious than the guards. themselves.
Right, because they become like I guess I don't know what the Jewish version of like an Uncle Tom is, right?
Yeah. That has to be something in psychology in general, because that happens time and time again. Where it's like the black cop is actually meaner to.
Yeah, it's like a
people.
self-hating type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that boxer just boxed his way out, just killing Jews.
Just knocking out Jew after Jew. He was like, "This is the easiest boxing. I'm just fighting Jews."
I know, they're weaklings. give me an Aryan.
Yeah, give me a goy. I want to see what my medal is. You're talking about that movie, right?
Yeah,
the Ben Foster
movie.
Yeah,
Give me someone worth their salt.
Yeah, I love Ben Foster, but that was a little tough to watch the trailer for.
Yeah.
Anyone sees Bobby True Love, tell him Jake Mazurski's looking for.
Ben Foster's one of the most underrated actors we have.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. I watched that movie the other night where he's like the PTSD guy with his daughter living in the woods.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Leave No Trace.
Oh,
pretty good.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
He's
Portland,
from the war, and he like can't sleep without hearing the sounds of helicopters and screaming children. And he has a daughter, and they live in like a national park outside of Portland.
Okay.
And then they get like caught, and it's all about them like getting. They try and give them like a regular house, but the guy just can't stay anywhere because he's like running from his thoughts, and then eventually the daughter and them have to they have to make a decision like I don't have the same problem as you, and. And Ben Foster, and then he kills Anne Frank.
Talk about white privilege.
White privilege.
I want to raise his daughter, but I got a mission. Yeah. We need you for one last job.
Last job.
Big helicopter landing.
Yeah.
4-star general gets out.
They're like Anne Frank had white privilege. They're like, how come she gets the attic? She gets the best view.
She gets the penthouse.
Oh, the penthouse for Miss Frank.
Miss Frank.
Oh,
she gets peace and quiet.
God,
I gotta work every day.
Oh, she gets to have this great long life. What'd she live till? 14?
Like
what a life.
The master bedroom is in the attic.
Queen Anne.
Queen
Here
just
she comes again.
Just writing about her period all day. Getting it edited out. There are like the
Anne Frank wrote on Miss Maisel, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Third season.
Yeah, she was just in the attic like, what's a girl got to do to get a good bush around here?
Anne Frank really lost her touch later on. She couldn't write.
Yeah, Anne Frank has officially fell off.
Dude, Anne Frank is so last week.
Yeah, one-hit wonder.
Yeah, like let's see another book, all right? Yeah.
Her book wasn't even didn't even have black people in it.
Or an ending.
Her book didn't even have POCs or trans people mentioned.
Right, that's very true.
Yeah.
Fucking ableist piece of shit. Fucking what are other words? What are other words that we throw around? Xenophobic.
Yeah, xenophobic.
Trans hater.
She never left Germany.
Yeah.
She never did?
No.
Yeah, because she was a Nazi. She loved them. Fucking white privilege bitch.
Go to the more comments.
Sorry. Popeye needs a spinach.
That's you have to listen to trap music to shit on Anne Frank more.
That's the Thick Boy Nation song. I had to listen to the beginning of the Gringo Poppy real quick before I
my apologies.
We should at mid-episode of every episode have to listen to that, where Popeye eating his spinach.
Yeah. Just we got to take a break to do a quick Gringo Poppy
Quick
refresh.
Gringo Poppy.
Just to fall in love with comedy all over again.
It's actually a really good song.
It's actually really catchy.
It's good.
Boys, I can't stop.
It's stupid to pretend like it's not really good.
Joey's PO'd.
I'm PO'd. I don't want anyone to trash that song if I'm here.
I wasn't trashing it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
It hypes me up.
Mm-hmm. I'll flip out.
I'll flip out. Jace, we talked about it a little last week, but what do you think of the whole Jordan Peterson going down this weird rabbit hole of I don't know, he's now become what he hated.
Yeah, I mean he's just very silly.
Yeah.
It's very silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he cries all the time,
Yeah,
he just cries in every video.
What was the thing he said that everyone's mocking? He goes, Screw you, woke moralist.
Yeah.
We'll see who has the last laugh.
We'll see who cancels who.
Ooh, yeah.
Up yours, woke moralists. It's like, dude, you sound like a guy getting bullied in middle school right now.
We just have these are like Marvel characters.
I know.
They're just like weird comic book characters.
He did
now.
like Jokerfy himself.
He did, yeah. He's like the kid who gets bullied, and then he's like, well, my mom said that's because you actually hate yourself. And then they just start pummeling him again.
Right, yeah. He just needs to get a lot of pussy, in my opinion.
I know. Stop fucking your daughter and get out and get her. Meet someone else.
Fully married though too. It's like he's got a wife.
Who is his wife? Okay, like what is going on there?
It's Miss Piggy.
She ever there to tell him to just relax for a second? I mean, what is his wife?
I think she's probably just some
There's like
poor lady that fell into, she got hypnotized by his weird, philosophy.
I feel like his wife. It's just a head in a glass jar
filled with Xanax.
And they come and him and his daughter, they kiss like an aquarium with his wife's head in it every morning, and they go, "This is for you."
Yeah.
Like the two-headed baby that died, and they put it on display at the fair.
That's right.
That's his wife. It's in pure formaldehyde. Yeah. She's the brain from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the big guy's body.
It's like in Mystery Man when Janine Garofalo throws the bowling ball, their dad's skull in it.
I've put my wife's head in a magic 8-ball.
And Jordan Peterson just pulls it out. He just like bowls over a bunch of trans people in front of a campus.
He throws it at Elliot Page's head.
He won't stop dead naming him.
Yeah, him. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Sorry.
Yeah, he just gets caught up in these fights that nobody needs to fight
It's
whatsoever.
over. We don't even care anymore.
I liked him a lot when he was just talking about it, and here's what Joseph Campbell, what Carl Jung said about the dragon in the lair.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then all of a sudden he's just like, the thing is, trans people, they don't even suck dick good. He's gone crazy.
Trans people, they don't bust it open.
Yeah, trans.
Who knows what's down there? Can't even pop. Am I popping a pussy or a cock? I don't even know what.
The hero's journey is not about fucking pussy. That is not the dragon's lair.
Trans people, do you even squirt? Oh fuck.
Yeah, no, it's sad. It really just shows you how fame just destroys a person's brain completely.
We said it last week. I don't want to keep doing it, but it's like he really has now become the same thing that people misrepresented him as.
Yes.
So it's almost like if people just keep telling you you're something. He fought it for a while, and it's just hard to keep fighting it. And now he's just kind of leaning into it. I think.
Yeah, if you fight monsters, you become the monster.
Yeah. Who said that? Coach Carter?
Yeah, it was Coach Carter.
I realize that every week I say Coach Carter said something.
Right, that's your Mark Twain.
That's
just every quote attributed to him. Yeah. Coach Carter once said we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
The coldest winter I ever had was a summer in San Francisco. Coach Carter.
We do these things not because they're easy, because they're hard, Mr. Cruz.
To the baseline. Did you guys see this? Just another day at an O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
No, what is
Check this out. Just an employee being harassed by a woman, and then she shoots her.
You act like you ain't been here long. Stupid ass bitch. Fuck, your mama stupid. Now come back here.
What's crazy about this is that this is in the Hamptons. This is Montauk.
Right. That's actually, it's being filmed by Aquafina.
That's Aquafina in the video.
Yeah. Is it the woman filming yelling that, or the woman with the big diaper on her head?
It's the woman with the cheetah leopard thing on her head that I guess because she got her curls or I don't know.
Right.
Got her hair done. I don't know why people wear that.
Yeah. They have a big brain under there.
Yeah, it's a big brain. Jesus.
What, bitch? What?
Man, she's so strong.
What?
Jesus.
I hate this part of a girl fight. They just hit him on the top of the head over and over.
This girl makes it a man fight. She goes and gets her blamma.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
This bitch just shot her in here.
Nobody runs or leaves.
Oh shit!
And it's imagine if like you get shot and the video of it, there's a big eye emoji on the video.
And the guy filming is like, they shoot people up in here.
Oh shit!
These Sprite commercials are getting weird.
Yeah, it just as I'm loving it across the screen.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Woo!
Here. I'm out of here. Time to go. Watch out.
Time to go.
When I get out of here, grab the battery, Wayne. Grab the battery. I'm out of here.
He's still grabbing the battery.
She just shot this bitch in the stove. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Did you sorry?
Yeah. Is it?
Oh my god,
Man,
Hey,
talk
geez.
about a bad day.
Wow.
What a bad day at work. I had to play that not for any reason other than I was like, gee, wow.
Yeah.
What an escalation.
The best person in the video is still stealing a car battery.
Yeah, he's like, yo, he's like, grab the battery.
He's like, yeah. Thanks for the diversion.
Yeah. Get the good wipers, the $20 wipers.
He just showed back up at the house. He's like, bitch got shot. I just took the battery.
His mom drags him back by the ear, like the police. She's like, return this battery to them. You stole this battery.
Yeah, they shoot him.
How dare you?
Yeah, him just walking out with like 4 brand new rims. Yeah.
The cops pull up to shoot everybody. But also don't go inside. They just shoot it from outside.
Yeah,
They're still scared to run inside. It's the Ivaldi Police.
Yeah, they're like, we heard that accent from across the block. We're scared to go in. Worried a woman is going to be very mean at us.
Yeah, we saw that hairdress cover that we still don't know what that's called and got very afraid.
It sounds like the DMV in there. We're not going inside.
So, Joey, fresh back from South Dakota.
Yeah. I
You happy to
drank
be back?
like 5. I'm
Joey got a first-class flight on the way back here
Really?
from Denver
I had to.
today. He goes, I had to.
Yeah.
What is the Denver flight? It's like 2.5 hours?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I drank 4 days in a row, and then so you're hungover, and if you're not in first of all, first class sucks no matter what if you're hungover. But I did it, and then there was like they just keep bringing you booze.
Mm-hmm.
They treat you so much nicer.
Yeah. They give you cookies now, I heard. They'll give you fresh cookies in first class.
They offered them, but they gave me food. It was the worst fucking food. It's always bad, but this was the worst food I've ever had in my life.
What airline were you on?
United.
Oh, yeah. It's not great.
They just serve him parts of that Asian man that they dragged off 5 years ago.
Yeah, here's a wrist.
Here's here's a finger of the Asian doctor that we brutalized.
Yeah, my meatloaf has a teeth in it.
No, I was back.
It's yellow. From years of smoking while crouching. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, Joey.
Sweet Devan came to visit me, and
My meatloaf tastes like green tea. It's weird. Sorry,
girl
Joey,
from
please
the
continue.
Cecil Hotel, the water tank.
So this is our finest bottle of a dead Asian woman, Aquafina.
They made a wine out of it.
Welcome to United.
Welcome to United.
There's a purple vagina in my food. What is this?
That's considered actually good luck in their country. If you get the
Girl,
vagina.
the water tank is good luck.
That means 2 more months of winter.
That's a groundhog.
Their Groundhog Days, they just check a water tank and see if there's a dead woman in it. They just pull her out. Everybody starts booing.
But that was a fun trip. I went.
Trying to get back to reality.
I went to South Dakota. Devan came. I guess. What did you think of South Dakota?
I loved it. It was like a lawless, fun, weird place. It's beautiful.
I was surprised how beautiful it was.
It's so pretty.
Scenic.
It's
Yeah.
like Montana.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But even hillier. Like the Black Hills are amazing, and they're the only thing that's black. Just the hills.
Well, the vegetation, in my mind, South Dakota is just literally just flat tundra, and that's it.
It's much hillier and more beautiful.
Well,
than
most
I
of
ever
it
could have
is.
imagined.
Most
Yeah.
of it is flat. but this
Joey's
one
part is Rapid City's like and
you met Sweet Brock. You met who else?
I met
Jenna.
Brock's girlfriend Jenna. We all got hammered in like an old West town, Deadwood.
Yeah.
And then woke up at like 7:30 in the morning and started right back up. Yeah. And got like kicked out of like a casino breakfast. We weren't even being that crazy. We were just
Whose
talking
fault
loud.
was that?
I don't really remember.
Either yours or Brock.
It might have been. I think we were making jokes about like Donald Trump getting like fucked in the ass or something out loud. It annoyed the old people or whatever. And then
somebody came up and was just like, "Hey, we've gotten multiple complaints about you guys."
Yeah, it got so bad that the cook came out and was like, "Listen, y'all are gonna have to just go."
Listen,
and we're like, "We're paying. Relax."
The cook is like, "I just did 4 bumps, but you guys got to get." It's amazing to get kicked out of a place in South Dakota.
In an old West town that used to be no lawless area, right. Like where Wild Bill Hickok is buried and Calamity Jane, and they're like kicking us out.
It was a prostitution-based economy. That's how the city started.
Exactly.
And now we're getting kicked out of a casino basement for being slightly too loud about Trump stuff.
So then we drank all day that day at like Brock's family's bars.
Yeah.
It was the first time in my life I ever sat in a parking lot waiting for a bar to open up at 11 a.m. Me, Joe, and Brock and his girlfriend were sitting in a parking lot and we were like, well, it's 10:49. We got to wait a little, like 11 minutes. And we go in, it's packed. The bar's packed at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
We had a great day, and then we go to the country club where everything happens. Right?
Yeah, so the country, maybe we talked about it at some point, but it was the place where we played poker in the basement, and they'd have like a weird underground poker game where the bartender would come give you food, and like you could order from the menu and fully catered, but you could you're gambling.
Yeah.
And so we'd do that, and it's this odd place in South Dakota where people go, and it's a small community where there's like people will just go there and spend 16 hours a day there.
It's the place to be for like if you are living there for your whole life. Like you gotta be in it at the country club.
Okay.
A lot of the night I spent. The next morning I told Joe, I was like, "There's a lot of wife swapping going on at that country club."
You know what? Weird.
That was the vibe.
And Devin's like a fucking genius because I found out that's actually happening. I had no clue that was happening. Devin made a goof on that.
I could tell immediately.
Those small communities, that's like all to do.
Yeah.
Is just fuck each other's wives.
Yeah. It was like your joke about the Facebook timeline. Like, I guess everyone in town's just gonna fuck my wife.
The wife who fucks the whole town.
There was some like after party after where I was like, in Jack City, I was being all horny. I'm like, is there going to be a bunch of single chicks at this thing? And they're like, no, but they do wife swapping. Like, not even kidding. Oh my God. And I was just like, yuck. Like, no. Yeah. I'm not going to that.
I would also love for you to go to the wife swap with no wife. Just like you went to the potluck and you didn't bring anything.
Yeah, you just keep saying she's in the bathroom for 7 hours.
I try to trade like a vape for a wife.
There's just one guy who's like, oh, wait, I didn't get a wife. Joey's just fucking some poor woman.
So the best part of that day that we go
alone in a room.
Yeah. Wait, huh? Yeah. He's like, all right, well, yeah. He's just like, well, I gotta wait for her to come out of that bathroom. Jesus. Well, his wife's just getting power fun. That would be funny. The guy left. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah.
The guy left out of the wife swap.
Of the wife swap.
Yeah.
Like William H. Macy and Boogie Nights.
She must be somewhere.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. He just eventually gives up. He's like, I'm going to go to the concession stand, get some nachos.
Yeah.
She's got to be somewhere.
Right? Him and his wife try. Megan's like, you won't believe it. I didn't get to fuck any wives. You got 8 guys? All right. Well, that's cool.
Talking to a guy in a corner. He's like, yeah, Joey's fucking my wife. He didn't bring a wife, so I don't have anyone to fuck.
You got to pick up a whore just to bring her.
And then there's a big issue at the end. Like, Joe, I got to talk to you. Your wife's a Democrat?
You know why was just pounding your wife's pussy? She mentioned she voted for Kamala Harris.
She said something about the K-Hive.
Yeah.
So anyway, I smothered her.
I did you a favor, brother. I put her down.
Did you a favor, brother? Buried her on the knot hole.
Yeah, the wife gangbang was good. We had to take Joey's wife out back and just shoot her.
I'm such an asshole. I've realized nobody in South Dakota even talks like that, but anybody other than from New York or LA, I just go like, so I was there, and everyone's like, yeehaw! Hey there, bro! Like, I just do the same voice for everyone from New York to LA.
I do the same thing when I'm visiting my family, and they're like, "How was?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, my granddad came out." She's like, "Hey, yeah, Dad." She doesn't talk like a bird. Yeah,
but it is like hillbillies though, still, like, and they don't talk like that, but they are. It's the same kind of person though.
It's more like closer to Fargo,
a little bit closer,
but not even that.
But not even that. But same personality.
Yeah.
But Devin was so funny. We went to this country club and we were like on a bender though.
So we get there after a long bender, already been up since 7 a.m. We drank the night before, drank all day. We get to this country club, and Joey's like, it's the whole point of me being there, basically. I mean, because Joey's just like, well, fuck. I mean, this is where everyone is. Like, I hadn't even met Joey's mom at this point. Like,
right.
I was there for 2 days, and she just wasn't around, and then we went to Deadwood, so I hadn't even met her. So we get to the country club. We're all fucking so drunk. And it's a big day, like it's a big golf thing that day. Like it's not a tournament. It's like a tournament, but so all the men are going hole to hole. Like it's I don't know, it's just some big deal.
But we get a cart.
We just take a golf cart because they're just like for the taking. I don't know. There's just keys in all of them. Joey just grabs one. We drive over. We finally find them on this massive golf course. And I like meet all these like guys that are like, Joey's known his whole life and shit. And I'm like getting introduced, and there's a moving bar, like it's a golf cart bar.
Mm-hmm. That's probably standard.
Yeah, the cart girl. It's pretty standard.
By the way,
somebody gets the shakes.
This was very funny. By the way, is like for months people are going in my group text going, the cart girl is so fucking hot.
Yeah, and
they're extremely weird, horny messages about how hot she is.
Brock said that all day. He's like, dude, the cart chicks are really hot.
And then we get there,
and it was like Roseanne.
Well, no way.
I heard she's got all her teeth.
What happened was the real cart girl broke her arm.
Oh, okay.
She moved to LA.
Pauly Shore's. She's living in Pauly Shore's guest house.
They fought over her at the clubhouse. Yeah.
But
snapped her
The
arm.
real cart girl was just an average girl. But Joey was so hammered by this time. Joey also looks like Johnny Cash. He's got his sunglasses on, and he's just like, people are like, Joey, I haven't seen you in ages. Joey's like, word, word, give me a drink, buddy. He's like the cart girl literally made a joke to Joey, and Joey's standing there, and then Joey's like, yeah, I'll take a White Claw. And then she goes, Joey, you know who I am, right? And Joey goes, of course I know who you are. He had no clue who she was. No clue.
By the way, there was audibly people were saying, I could hear people, she could hear them too, people saying sorry about the car girl. In front of her.
Yeah, you're like, I'll get a whiskey coke. Sorry about this fat broad on the car.
It literally was like that. I heard that a few times too.
No, she could hear it.
It was a big disappointment for all the men that day. Oh, yeah, everyone woke up that morning so happy to go see the cart girl. And then it was just not what they expected.
They're just like, hey, sorry. Anyways,
you guys want to look at porn on my phone? make it up to you. We'll play porn on my phone, buddy. I'm sorry.
Sorry to kill the boner. My bad.
And so also all the guys were all obsessed with this young, the small towns where there's one guy that's maybe good at one sport, and he's kind of good, but they all he's the next Tiger Woods. This guy's gonna take us to the top. Everyone kept talking about some kid named Harry Nielsen or
what? Harry Nielsen.
I don't know.
They were they go, you see how Zane's
they got Zane or something. So the minute we get there, Joey and I, keep in mind, we're just it's a whirlwind. We're like, hey, nice to meet you. And everyone goes, did you see Zane on that par 4? And we're like, no. He goes, God damn. People are hitting their knees and then driving off in a golf car, following Zane. We never even saw the kid. We don't even know who he was. He was an imaginary figure to us the whole day.
People kept telling Devin about Zane. somehow they wanted us to care.
Dude,
about
it made no
Zane.
sense. Joey and I are literally sitting in a golf cart with our sunglasses on. We're holding drinks, and we're just like completely catatonic. And every 10 minutes, a new old guy would pull up next to us, like, and you go like, "Do you guys see Zane on that hole-in-one? Hot damn!" Joey's dad was super into it. Even on the way to the airport, Joey's dad was like, "Zane was killing it today." Like, everyone is obsessed with this like one kid.
Yeah, the one kid who's going to make it out. That crazy. He's just the only golfer who wasn't hammered. Yeah,
basically.
He shot like an 87.
My friend Cooper came back from like Lincoln. He's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln lawyer.
The Lincoln lawyer. Yeah.
He's a Lincoln lawyer.
No, but so he came back, and you're exactly right. Like I think he's a good golfer, but he drank so much that he was just like couldn't, like golf.
Yeah.
It was a 3-day tournament where each day they rack up the scores, and like whatever on day 3 you go to a derby or whatever.
Yeah.
And Coop just kept. He and I were just trying to we're going to bars trying to get puss, staying up till 4 a.m.
Yeah, you're all in like your mid-30s at this point. Yeah, so it's really hitting you hard.
Coop's 33, or maybe at least 33, maybe 32, but yeah, just like he was up all night trying to bang fat chicks. And then he'd wake up and go to the tournament, and we'd be in the group text, and he would just go like, "Ooh," he's like, "Yikes, boys."
You seen that cart girl? Ugly as shit. Oh my god.
He goes, "Cart girl's not helping."
Cart girl.
and then he goes, he missed a putt. He literally missed a putt. Like like when you shoot.
Yeah, where it's very easy.
He just tapped it.
Like
just
a 4-footer.
Tap, taparoo.
Yeah.
No, like missed the ball on a putt.
Oh, God, that's how drunk he was. Holy shit.
And so just my friends being drunk. But none of them made it to the Derby. My dad made it with his friend. They were okay. But no, yeah, what a disaster of a
It's
time.
funny for the town is very for being like kind of puritanical, like family values, like we keep to ourselves type place. It's promiscuous.
Yeah.
Everyone's like horned up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got a lap dance by like a 60-year-old lady the first night in town. Remember that, Joey? This woman just came over to me and was like, "My friends think I can't dance. You're going to get a lap dance from me." And I'm like, "What? Okay."
Where was this?
It was just at a bar in Rapid City, like right in front of a fucking Andrew Jackson statue. There's like a cop, with his knee on a Native American in the corner.
My dad and I picked Devin up from the airport, and then it was like 11 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, we can go drink at my mom's and watch TV and smoke weed, or we can go, there's might be one bar open. And it's called Paddys. And so we went there. It was open. Mm-hmm. We went, and then, I'm like...
Just this older broad just came up to me and like sat me down. She pushed me into a chair, and then she just did this horrific geriatric dance.
You can hear her hips clicking.
Yeah. She smelled like Bengay.
Oh God!
Hold my teeth, honey.
Her pacemaker's going up.
She goes like, "I used to be the cart girl."
I was the rose of the town, child.
Whole town full of cart girls.
I've taken cum from this whole town.
There was a Native American guy with a bloody bandage.
Yeah, there was. Literally the guy from Fargo, the Native American
Chief.
from Fargo,
Yeah,
Chief.
yeah.
There was a Native American guy drinking in the bar with he literally looked like Anton Chigurh. He had he looked like Llewellyn Moss.
Yeah.
He had his own bandage over his shoulder. It was just an open wound.
He had a visible bloody bandage. It was like a classic white.
And so then we go to the hipper bar, kind of around the corner.
Yeah.
And they're blasting Little Dicky unironically. And there's a guy at the bar rapping every lyric to Little Dicky. It was a trip. It was a fucking trip.
That's fantastic.
Fucking great. I would love I got to go back every year.
There is something about small towns where everybody's like, listen, there's nothing better coming. Yeah. We just gotta just suck and fuck each other.
Yeah.
And get blackout drunk.
By the way,
It's just fun. Sounds
it's kind of what everyone should be doing.
Yeah, no, it's like a more pure way to live.
Well, it's just
carpe diem.
If we're all being honest with ourselves, it's like, let's just fuck a bunch of, I don't want to say it, but skanks.
Joey, how dare you? Joey, you sick son of a bitch.
I'm a sick fucking pervert. Call me crazy. Hey, if that's a crime, take me to jail.
I was hoping that Devan lands and goes and meets everybody in your town. They all just talk like our caricature of Joey.
Yeah.
Like he's like meets your mom. He's like, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Joey's mom's like, word.
Good to meet. Really great to meet you.
Word. Look at this joker. I made casserole for you scumbags."
My parents are like normal, but everyone else is a maniac. But so then we went to Deadwood.
Yeah.
What did you think of Deadwood?
Deadwood was great. A little corporate. It's little like it's like the Times Square of South Dakota.
It to be because you're like a cowboy movie.
Yeah,
fan.
I wanted guys just I wanted guys on the street like there's a snake in my boot. Like, no, it was really fun.
You
But
wanted
it's
like
just casinos and we danced with that Appalachian lady.
Miss Whitaker.
We danced with one of the ladies from a Soft White Underbelly episode.
She put the wood down so she could tap on it.
Devin's like, "What's your name?" She's like, "Gah!"
Yeah, she just made bird noises at me. Deadwood was fun as hell. We went to a bunch of like saloons. Oh, what was the thing when we walked? Brock kept making fun of me because we were gonna go to like this nice steakhouse. It was like upstairs, so we walk into this place and we go up the stairs, and this like fat couple is rushing down the stairs, and the guy goes, "Just turn around, get, get," and we're like, "What?" And when I see, I'm from L.A., I'm like, "Oh, mass shooter! I don't know what's going on." I run, I sprint out of the place, and then we get out front, and it turns out all they were doing was like, "Food is terrible there." I panicked, but I looked like it was like a fucking. I thought it was an active shooter.
You ran to the police station.
He did say it kind of like I thought there was.
He said it in a way where I was like, it can't be about the food or the service. Like he made it seem like there was.
You were like, go.
He made it seem like a fire was happening or something bad.
He was trying to do a bit.
Yeah.
No, he was completely sincere. It was him and his wife, and you could tell like they go out to a nice place like once a year, and they hated their night, and so they were like, "You ain't. If we see you eat here, we'll kill you." Like they hated the place so much. And then what we do the next day, I don't know. It was
next day.
We just woke up, and then Joey and I went and we looked for Joey's debit card. Joey lost his debit card.
Mr. In Between.
We watched
the
a lot of
greatest
Mr.
fucking show ever.
Saving my life.
Yeah, they've told me about it. I haven't watched it.
So fucking good, by the way.
Too busy watching Stranger Things.
Really?
Yeah, they made him even stranger. You thought it was strange, folks. No,
what even is the show now? Aren't they all like fucking 30?
Yeah, they're all 30 years old. Yeah,
I started watching that, and it was like borderline pedophilic.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I was like,
really?
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
They're like way too young to be, but they're all like horny.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
weird. I don't know.
I don't like that the fat one. He's looking all weird now.
The one with the curly hair.
The curly hair
with their teeth.
He used to be cute.
Yeah, well,
now he's weird.
The funny thing is, I don't really watch the show, but the 5 kids from it, they all look like grown, jacked men now.
Yeah,
like the black guy looks like Scottie Pippen now. Like he's playing a 14-year-old. He's legitimately like jacked. Like he looks like a college basketball player.
They're supposed to be 14.
They're supposed to be like 14, I think. Yeah, they all look like they're 30 years old, and then that kid just morphed into like a bigger, fatter child. Like he just looks. Yeah. Now he looks like he has Down syndrome.
He does. Yeah. He looks like like he gets fed through a tube.
He's got a colostomy bag.
Yeah, I'm sick of them being stars. Those Stranger Things kids. They're always on like red carpets. I'm like, he looks like a fucking duck.
Yeah, and it's always funny. The news articles are like they're so like normal. They're like they're literally like admitting like I don't think anyone's molested them yet. It's so strange. They haven't been chewed up and spit out like we do every celebrity in America.
Dan Schneider.
Where's Den Entertainment when you need it?
Yeah.
So what else did we do, Joey? The Deadwood was really the portion of the trip, and then the country club.
You missed my friends Haley and Dimitri. They're legends. You didn't meet them, but they're good. I hung out with them a lot. What do we do? I think after that we just kind of went.
There's a lot of flirting with like 55-year-old women.
It's a lot of that.
It's like a lot of
It's
that.
a lot of
fun.
It's
I
a
like
lot of,
that.
I like it though. It's cool.
I'm like tone deaf, but Devan is so right. There's like wife swapping going on.
Totally, dude.
Yeah.
They would fuck you. It's not even wife swapping.
No,
They just-
and I realized it after because I stayed there long enough, and there was like a bunch of weird stuff where it was just like
they're fucking just
like why is this like because I would go like oh, is your husband like golfing in the thing? Because I was like hoping that she's single so I could try to bang her, and and she's like yes he is, but then she would be like super flirty, and then it would be like oh, and then the husband would come over and she would be doing it in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got like a big grin on his face looking at you.
Yeah. It's creepy. It's creepy, but good.
Yeah.
Fun and beautiful, scenic.
It's beautiful. Joey and I had the worst meal of our lives at this one restaurant in Rapid City, Firehouse.
Oh yeah.
It was awful. All the food is like they literally just like they microwave like a Hungry Man meal, and they charge you $20 for it.
No, we went to downtown Rapid City, and I was like, all right, Murphy's. This is the place we went to. A decent place actually, but then I was like, all right, let's keep walking a little bit. Try to, reacquaint myself with.
We also got harassed by a homeless guy, Native American homeless guy, like 10 minutes into being in the city on the first day. And
Well,
I was like, you can't escape these people. It's unbelievable.
Devan was hoping.
I came from LA and I'm already being harassed.
Devan was hoping to get there and escape from all like the nonsense, and then there was like a Native like he doesn't know about Native Americans.
Yeah.
He kept going like, what's their deal?
Yeah. What's up with this weird?
What's their deal?
What's up with this Italian guy?
Yeah.
Why does this Italian guy got braids?
He's like, Marlon Brando's pissing me off. No, but that's massive issue out there.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. We just watched Mr. In Between.
We just watched a
Smoked
lot of
weed in my
TV.
mom's
It was. I might just fly out there not even to see anything anymore. It was just like he has Joey's family has a great TV setup.
Devin,
My favorite thing is just watching TV with my friends.
You're gonna
So-
fly out to do a kickback.
Yeah, just a little kickback in the basement. They have a little mini putting course. There's even a gym.
little
Gym.
In the house.
Joey and I had our own like wing.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Jesus.
Devin was being so funny. He kept going. He goes, "This is my dream house." He's like, every room is designed for like optimal TV watching.
Dude, literally, they don't even, you walk into the house, it's just a great big kitchen with an island, and then a giant living room with the L-shaped couch, and every couch has
Mini fridge with booze.
mini
in
fridge
every room.
stocked
Yeah.
with booze, Diet Cokes, anything you need.
Waters.
Every room. And there's 3 of those rooms the minute you walk into the house. And then there's like a jungly one they made. They made like a tropical one with like where it overlooks like all like the you could see the hills and stuff, and there's a fireplace. And then they have another one, and every room has a goddamn fridge in it, and no wonder he's the most well-watched man on earth. He grew up, like it was like his dad was training him for the Yankees of TV watching.
Yeah, he was the Marinovich of watching TV.
No, it was like imagine if your dad didn't. Kick your ass at the end of Apocalypse Now.
Platoon.
A platoon. I always say Apocalypse Now. Yeah, no, we just like sit there and watch The Sopranos, but no, fun time.
Right. Well, that's what I'll go back and visit my parents, and all we do is watch TV, and then it's like it's like, well, do you want to do something? And they're like, yeah, we could go to like Raising Cane's. It's like 35 minutes away. And then I'll be like, yeah, I'll go pick up some Raising Cane's, I guess. And then and then my parents are like, hey, Jason's doing a Cane's run. What do you guys want? And they're texting me like, get a gallon of the sweet tea, make sure no coleslaw. It's like a big event. Because like, okay, we could drive an hour and a half into Dallas,
right,
to go to like Billy Bob's or some dumb shit. Yeah, Drunk drive all the way back home.
It was slightly.
No, I remember when you were home for like a week, you were sending out an SOS for oil, hemp, weed.
Yeah,
weed.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Cartridges. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
Jesus
just because I was, when I was back home for a while, like, there's nothing to fucking do.
Yeah, after like 5 days, you were like, please, someone, Richie used to do this, I think, illegally.
Yeah, so please, one of my scumbag friends, send me weed.
Statute of limitations has to be up. Just please send anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going back to that golf thing, I remember literally when I was like a teenager, I thought I was gonna try and be like a pro or something. I was like not good enough, but I play with all these old guys, at Big Spring Country Club. And they would get so drunk. One guy literally had a Bloody Mary cooler. Like he had an igloo cooler he put in the back of it, and he would just fill it with like a whole thing of tomato juice and a whole thing of vodka. And he just drink. And they all had like fucking like, W.C. Fields faces.
Yeah.
And there was one guy one time, he got so drunk that we're on the 18th tee, and it's like a raised tee box. So the tee box is like maybe 7 feet off the ground. And he goes to swing. And this is like a 58-year-old man. He goes to swing, and he falls off the tee box, like onto his shoulder and his neck. And he's like fucked up. And we're like, all right, you all right? He's like, I'm fine. I'm just embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And then we watched him just drive home.
He died, and then he died in his sleep.
There's a million of that kind of thing happening constantly in places like this. At one point, somebody goes, "You guys remember Jim Abner?" And I was like, "No, I don't know."
Yeah.
It is, by the way, so funny watching Joey like around all these people, because I just think Joey's just already been naturally just unique from day one, So I just kept imagining Joey even leaving, like as a kid, just looking at people like, what?
Wait, yeah, when you still have that like angst about being there.
Yeah.
Joey's 12. He's still like, word, buddy.
Joey's just like already, he's just thought much deeper than most people there.
Well, now I'm like getting older. I'm starting to go like, I understand you people a little bit now.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But they go, Jim Abner, you remember Jim Abner? And I go, no. They're like, he was the governor. He was the mayor or something. Look him up.
Sure,
That's his real name.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, well, we suspect that he's a pedophile.
We suspect.
And then my mom goes, well, he's to take your brother Louie to Florida like once a year. And to golf. And then everyone was like, well, he was molesting your brother. And so I texted my brother. I was like, did he try anything on you? And he denied it up and down.
Right.
But just odd things,
right?
Like the governor is molesting your brother, kind of like it doesn't happen.
Governor's molesting,
and a big top hat and cigar.
Exactly. It just doesn't happen anywhere else like that. Where
I was literally
place.
My mom was in town, and we were literally just talking old like childhood memories, and we were talking about the coach that molested 5 students or whatever.
Yeah.
And then me and Ben were like, yeah, you remember that kid's dad you played basketball with? And I was like, oh yeah, he used to. I remember we like hit the showers after a game, and then he would just go into the locker room and be like, all right, Zach, we gotta go. And then he would just stare at the lockers. And then me and my brother looked at each other like, huh. Oh, anyway, I think we're fine now. just like you were surrounded by like pedophiles and weirdos at every turn.
Yeah,
we had a PE coach that would this hopefully doesn't exist anywhere else, but there was the shower had a glass wall that went to the office of the PE coach's office, and he would sit there and eat bananas while we showered.
It's such a creepy fruit to be eating,
banana?
too.
Yeah, he would eat bananas while we
real slow like.
Yeah,
would he like really work them?
Creepily, yeah. He'd work them.
Just lick a big lollipop while
he was working them, dude.
he was
Just,
working them.
Him using nothing but his teeth to peel it.
Yeah.
But no, everywhere you go, it's like somebody. You're like, all right, we're going to this bar, and they're like, oh god, this chick's got like, oh, I had an abortion with her. She's now married to my best friend. I'm like, oh god, oh, no.
Yeah, my mom was like, so you remember that neighbor we had? And I was like, no. And she's like, you remember, he had the tractor. He'd always scream at his kid in the yard. I was like, oh yeah, he like beat his kid up or whatever. And she's like, yeah, well anyway, so he was a pedophile. He got caught, and he was gonna go to jail. He ran off, died in Montana in a big racing accident. His wife got the insurance check. She's loaded, so she's living on the hog. It's like, oh my god!
I'm starting to think that just like boredom turns you into a pedophile.
I'm like, well, we already fucked all the wives.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, look at that big sky.
Like, how many times can we swap?
Yeah,
It's like we already swapped wives. It's like,
Yeah. One guy's just like, what if we did a kid swap? All the kids just putting those plastic Tonka keys in a bowl. All right, who's got the Barbie car? The Malibu Barbie car?
Oh, man.
The Jeep Power Wheel. You got a Jeep Power Wheel?
Yeah. Oh, looks like it's my lucky night.
Next up, a Hummer, big spender. Gas guzzler.
Gonna need a lot of double A's to get you home.
We're having sex with the kids.
No, there's just something about like in the places where there's not really that much to do. Honestly, you know,
it's a weird small little place. I saw the girl that gave me limerence in Las Vegas.
Oh, you did? I never. Oh, and I never met her when I was out there. Right?
No. And she had like a boyfriend.
Oh,
ooh, yeah.
Did that help?
It kind of
because it's over. Right?
Well, no. So
you killed him.
Joe just went ghostly white.
Shot him dead.
Yeah.
No, so
you start talking like Tony Sirico in that interview.
I did it for her, but I had limerence. So
I was real messed up over this girl.
I had the limerence. It's a disease. I'm
real messed up.
I'm not ashamed. I am ashamed.
Shot her boyfriend out back of a Hardee's.
But we went to the. We went to the.
Do you have limerence? He's like, do I have what? Huh?
So we came to this. I showed up to this party. She was there. I was like, oh, nice. I'm like, hopefully I can bang her or something, you know. Mm-hmm. And gave her a hug. We went upstairs, and then this guy's there, and I go, oh my god. No one knows that I'm like devastated by that.
They think you're just kicking it.
Like it makes no sense.
They're like, Joey, you okay? You're like, no, I'm just thinking about the cart girl. Word, buddy.
Like, me too, buddy.
You see that fat pig today? You're all expecting a hot cart girl. There's that goddamn wreck of a woman. You see that big wreck of a woman? They're big ham hocks. God, we were all wanting that. Where's the hot cart girl?
She's a fucking Saints game.
I'm all worried about her arm. But so so I go, I make a funny act out. I play it cool, great poker face. Nobody, I'm like, meanwhile, I'm devastated. Shattered. Heartbroken. I couldn't.
Also meeting the guy too.
Yeah.
And now he's like a fat hillbilly. He's like a big, tall, fat hillbilly. He's like a fucking.
Really?
I wanted him to be George Clooney. I wanted him to come with like
so you feel better
or something
where
and
you're
teach us about
where you're like, oh well, I get it. He's like a greater man than I'll ever be.
But instead, it's like Vincent D'Onofrio in Men in Black.
No.
He's like sugar water. You're like, this is the guy? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's an alien.
And then it's an odd. To no one else, it's odd. To me, borderline psychedelic, brutal experience. So I'm sitting there, just, probably breathing like a fucking, lunatic, like Tony Sirico, just like.
Oh God.
And then
doing the Joey.
And then the guy goes in, and I missed him for a sec. He goes in, he's like, goes to the bathroom. I try to go to the bathroom right after, and I go, oh, somebody's in the bathroom? And they're like, yes, somebody's in there. And then I sit back down. There's like 5 of us here at this point. And then, so now we're just sitting there, and there's one person missing. We all know it's him. And then, so we know he's taking a dump, because it just goes on forever. And so this chick is just looking back anxiously every 5 minutes while I sit there in like massive pain.
Because she's also anxious about this, right? Or
she knows
doesn't know
too, right? She's aware that this is weird, right? Probably.
Yeah,
a
little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you guys are both like mutually playing it cool, which is weird because you guys are even sharing a moment in that.
Yeah,
of mutually sitting in the awkwardness.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, you're looking at her. You're like, look at this, another reason for us to be together.
I was trying to.
All we do is connect.
Yeah. Look at how long his shit is.
I got you.
You know how quick I shit?
Remember my quick shits?
Joey goes
I don't go to Paddys and take shits in the first 5 minutes of arriving. I don't do.
After he walks out.
5 minutes of arriving, he goes take takes a massive.
That is
dump.
deranged.
Joey walks
deranged.
to the bathroom. Watch how quick this is. Just speed runs his shit.
I should have announced. I should have.
He gets in a shit competition.
Baxter, time me. Just Joey in the bathroom, just blowing veins.
Yeah, he gets a hemorrhoid. He has to crawl out of the bathroom. He can't walk. He's like, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, they're like 18 minutes. Fuck.
He's like, I still want to be with you, though. Just crawling out of the bathroom.
I come out crying, just going like, see how fast that was. Two streams in your face.
No one can shit blood this fast. Nobody.
Joey, you okay?
So Joey, how'd that end?
Just nothing. I just like played like nothing.
Yeah.
Played it cool.
No, that's what you have to do.
I very easily just should have just gone like, oh, very great pick on this guy, taking a massive dump right away. You know,
You should have
dumbass.
alphaed the situation.
I was like, because I love the host of the party was Haley and Dimitri, who I mentioned, greatest people, becoming some of my favorite people in the world. So I didn't want to wreck their party.
But you really wanted to.
But you wanted.
I wanted to.
You really
bad.
wanted to, yeah.
I wanted
What would
to
you have
bad.
done? You'd have
What
taken
was-
your
yeah,
shirt
what
off
was
and
going through your head?
like flexed.
Right, you would have challenged the guy
I'd
to
be
a
like,
push-up contest.
Look at these chaps! Gadoosh! You like hit your head in the wall. You headbutt like a painting.
Right, Joey just walks out. I found these dumbbells in the other room. We should all see who can do the most dumbbell curls.
Joey walks in a room 1001, 1002. Oh, hey there, fat turd shit fuck. I did 1,000. I did 1,000 push-ups while you were taking a dump
Yeah.
5 minutes into a
Anyway,
party.
let's see your shot. He throws it at him.
He throws it at his head and it kills him.
He was actually a nice person. He was nice.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Brock's dad. This was the he pulled the worst bar trick ever on me. I was like so drunk. He's like, "Oh, you gotta see this bar trick," and he like just takes a toothpick and stabs me in the forehead with it.
The fuck?
Deep into my forehead, where I was like bleeding a little bit.
Jesus.
Stuck into
And
his forehead.
I didn't remember it really, and it stuck in my forehead. And then the next morning, I woke up and I was like, "The fuck!" I was like, "Oh yeah, that fucking guy like he hit me, like stabbed me with."
There wasn't any like preface to like he told a story or something.
No, he
like,
just goes like, "You got to see this bar trick. Check this out." And then he just did it. I think he was a little. I think he was a little threatened. I was like,
You know what?
I was telling stories all night.
Actually, his daughter, I saw her at the country club, like whatever, a few days later, and she goes like, he was like, pissed off because Devan was being really funny, and
I sensed it. I said that the next day. I was like,
"You've got a good radar." Yeah, I didn't realize. You were right.
"Yeah, okay, that's nice to know."
That happens when you. That happens to me all the time when I go back.
Because he's the big. He has all his money. He's like a big deal in the town, and I could just tell he's like, "You LA queer," like that.
Yeah.
And so he then just did this like vicious bar trick on me. And then I woke up the next day and I talked to Joey about it. I'm like, that's not even a bar trick. That's like pulling out a knife and being like, check out this bar trick. And you just stab a guy.
Well, I woke
You're
up.
like, he's like, look, it stayed. I'm like, that's not a trick. If you stab flesh deep enough, a thing stays.
I woke up so hungover and forgot about it. Cool, I was blacked out. I was like fully black. I couldn't even talk at that point. I was so drunk. And then, so Devan's like, who is that guy that fucking stabbed me with a toothpick? And I was like, oh, that must have been this guy. That's a bar trick that he does. And Devan's like, how is that a trick though? He stabbed me.
It's like not really a trick.
There's no trick. There's no trick
It's like,
to it.
hey, Spider, check out this bar trick.
But he does it to himself all the time. Like he's just it's a really. It's
No, I could tell. I heard him speak.
he's actually funny.
I liked him.
He's a good guy, and I like him, and he's funny. But he does that to himself. He's just kind of like a stunt man. Like he does like sure.
He's like he's Steve-O.
Johnny Steve-O. He's Steve-O, sort of.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day under
It
the.
annoyed the fuck out of me though when I thought about it.
I woke up the next day under the impression that an actual bar trick was pulled, and then I had to rack my brain. I was like, no, man just stabbed me in the head.
By the way, Devan was just like everyone that he talked to that I was just like, I love Devan. Like he.
That's nice to hear. I was pandering a lot. Like anytime I wasn't getting the laughs, I would just be like, anyway, Trump 2020, Trump 2024, stop the steal, whatever.
Hey, you just listen. So all them homos out in L.A.
I did. Every time I'm out in L.A., I just talk shit about L.A.
Yeah. No, you got it.
I know how people think. Like,
Right.
and I also think the same way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an L.A. townie. Yeah.
Majority of people were around.
That night, Joey was so finished by the time that I was even entertaining like
was
all
on
the people because it was an all-day, 2-day thing.
After like 3 days. Of
it was like 3 straight days. So Joey, I'm talking to his family, his family's friends, all his old friends, not all, but like a few. And I was raving about Joey because I don't know. There was a sense. It wasn't an actual sense, but I just feel like people don't quite understand how truly hilarious Joey is. Like he's the funniest person ever, in my opinion. And so I was just drunk and raving about like, your son is the funniest fucking guy on. And me and Brock was like backing me up, of course. But and then Joey wasn't doing me any favors though, because I would like do this big spiel for him, and then I'd be like, I mean, look at him, and Joey would be in a chair like Hannibal Lecter, just like, just at a nice country club, just shaking in a chair. Like the bartender tied his hands up. I'm like, look at your son, he's a brilliant genius, and Joey's just like.
Well, I was actually. I was doing a hero move, actually. I was like, you know what? I want to let Devan shine. I was like, I've talked to these dumbasses enough.
I could tell you were like,
not dumbasses.
I've met them all. I don't care.
No, I love all those people.
You love them, but
I was like no. This is
point.
a good time for Devan to talk to them. I can black fully out.
Yeah.
And and not shut my brain down. Let these.
Yeah.
Let these. Fruits.
It was crazy, dude. I didn't end up paying for it. I feel like bad. I'm like, I don't know who paid for me. A steak just showed up to me. I kept yelling about, like, I want a steak. How do you get a steak in this town? Because all the food I ate was horrible. And then a steak just, like, arrived.
Well, that's...
And then...
By the way, that's an odd... I don't know, Chase, you go to country clubs.
Sure.
So this is a weird thing in this place, is that you can just, like, order and be like, oh, put it on...
Yeah.
Put it on their number.
Yeah, put it on the number. Yeah, it's like...
That's every country club, I think.
But no one ever
put it on A35.
Nobody checks.
Nobody goes for
like,
my number. So I just got away with murder. I got, like, probably 15 drinks and a whole steak.
I didn't pay for one thing. Like, I have this, like, app that tracks my spending, and it kept going, like, you've spent, like... $8,000 less than usual.
Yeah, your app's like, are you okay? You didn't spend $9,000 on bars.
Your app is like, are you okay?
Yeah, and it's because you go to this place and
Joey's the first person who gets his card shut off for not spending money.
They're like, this guy wasn't at any Barney's Beaneries this weekend. I think he's dead. Shut it off.
But it just they don't check. They just go like one day I bought charcuterie and a bunch of I spent so much. I bought a bunch of stuff, and then at the end of the night I was like, okay, so I got to pay for my stuff. I had charcuterie and I described my order
At the country club.
Yeah, and they were like, somebody already did that, and I was like, what? Who? And they're like, we don't know. It's closed. And like nobody cared.
That's crazy.
Was it? Can I ask? Was it during the tournament?
Yeah.
So that might have been.
It was right after
part of it.
Or no, it was before. It was
Well, when I was hanging out with all the people,
I think.
We had drinks with your mom, and they like ordered some like bread and cheese, and then the tournament ended, and then we hung out with like all the people that were in the tournament, and then that's when we were drinking a ton, and I got a steak.
Anyways, they did a crack on security.
Yeah, I mean, I want to. We could fly out there and just eat for free at this fucking country club. Right. No one's tracking anything.
It pays itself back.
Yeah,
everyone go there and like it just pays itself back.
Meanwhile, there's just one random guy in South Dakota, like 20 grand in debt.
He's like, fucking, who bought all this charcuterie?
Like, who bought 19 rum and cokes?
He's like, why am I losing my house?
That's how that homeless Indian became homeless.
Yeah.
They're like, don't any guess, we put it on the Indian guy's tab.
He was an Arrowhead member.
Put it on Chiefs.
There's an actual guy. There's one Native American guy that comes there, and he's actually called Chief. Everyone calls him Chief.
Yeah.
Really? Jesus Christ.
You got to do it. Yeah.
He was a great pitcher in high school.
Oh.
Okay.
That's also, I love those small towns where it'll be like a 85-year-old man. You're like, if you ever saw that man pitch a baseball, my God. And they're like, oh, he was a pro. It's like, no, he never made it out of high school. But he once struck out 5 batters in one game.
At the park.
Yeah, at the park. At the rec league game. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I actually had, in LA, I would have been like panicked about that. Like, because it was so much money that I'm sure it was on somebody's tab. So, like, I would have felt like the need
those guys are so rich.
Yeah.
I'm finding out more and more where it's just like they have private jets and shit, and like they're
really?
oil tycoon type
Yeah,
guys.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Especially living out there where everything's so, like, relatively cheap.
Well, and they're all old, so they bought it when it was actually cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's kind of more expensive, but they're like grandfathered into a good house or whatever.
Yeah. Everybody I went to college with, they bought houses at like 24.
Exactly.
Like with their first salary.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got to go back. We got to do. Oh, yeah, I know you hate mushrooms, but I got to do mushrooms out there because it's perfect mushroom land.
Oh,
Everything's gorgeous. Like,
well, you saw Pactola Lake, and you were like,
that was amazing.
Yeah, you were like stunned by it,
dude. It's so pretty.
Yeah. It's the Black Hill. It's a lake with the Black Hills.
None of it's man-made. It's all so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just stunning.
There's really beautiful parts of this country that you just don't hear anything about
That's
at
what
all.
I'm telling people. You don't need to leave. We got it all here.
Just moved to Nebraska.
It really, it's America is just so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I got kind of weirdly patriotic on July 4th. I felt weird for that, but yeah. I was at the Dodger game on the field, and they're doing the fireworks. I was like, I love this.
Like, goddamn Mexicans, get the fuck out of here.
There were like 3 cholos standing in front. I was like, they didn't need to move out of the fucking way. On my day.
Get these illegals out of here on Independence Day.
Joey,
at the ball game.
Before we wrap up, tell the story real quick about like right before you left, and then I'll tell my story
at the airport.
on the plane.
When you were walking up with your dad?
At the country club with your dad. The last thing somebody said to you as you were leaving?
It was a country club.
Yeah, so, well, you tell yours first.
Okay, so on the way to South Dakota, because I got, had a layover in Salt Lake City, and then you take, like, a plane that holds, like, 20 people to Rapid City, because, like, whatever. You get, like, a private jet, but it's almost, like, so small you're, like, afraid it's going to crash. You feel every bump.
Yeah.
And the guy next to me, I'm in the very back of the plane, and the guy next to me, this old man, sweet old guy, but he's on his he's writing notes on his phone, and they're like giant notes, like the font is giant because he's older. And I look over because he's almost holding it like at me. I don't know. He just does, and I was just listening to music, and I would turn. And I'm like, I could just see every word. And the whole thing was like he's like, just got back from Seattle. Deb and John wanted me to speak at Kyle's funeral. And he goes, Kyle was a car expert, was an incredible mechanic, but he was high on fentanyl and was murdered by the police.
He was texting this?
He's like writing his own journal, like on his notes app. He remembers why he was like in Seattle. And he's like, they wanted me to speak. It was a horrible time, and fentanyl's ruining the planet. And I'm just like, oh my God, where am I going right now?
Also, you can't remember that?
Yeah.
But so Devan goes like, that was like the most Midwestern thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. He was on fentanyl and murdered by the police.
Yeah. And the kid probably moved from South Dakota to like live in Seattle. Like Joey.
Things went off the rails. Things went off the rails.
Things got a little dicey.
It was a parallel universe Joey.
But then so at the country club on the last day, I was going there, and I'm another bender. It was by the way, I drank like every day. Brutal for my body. But so we're last day. I wake up and I'm like, I have to go back. It's my last day. I have to say goodbye to everybody. It'd be very rude if I didn't go. And then so I'm like drink. My dad, we roll up to the country club, and it's just me and my dad. And there's a lady walking toward the car as we park, and he goes, "Oh, Nance, hey Nance, there's Nance." And so we get out, and Nance goes, "Hey, if you see Bobby, you shouldn't be using real names.
It doesn't matter. Nobody."
She goes, if you see Bobby, show him a little extra love, because his brother's blew his brains out."
This is the type of thing you say as somebody's got their window down in their car, they're rolling by you. They tell you somebody just got their brains blown out.
Blew his brains out.
And it's like a nice sunny day on the golf course, and
Just
my
real
dad's
quick.
just like, all right, okay,
very good.
And he's being a sweetheart, of course. But then, we're like, into the club. See Bobby, make sure don't show him a little love. Brother, just like
Show him a little love.
You
Just
walk
Midwest.
You walk up to him and go, "Bobby, I heard your brother blew his brains out." That's devastating, buddy. Anyway,
I wouldn't, but Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you say there. Blew his brains out.
Blowed his brains out. Well, and that's a little taste of Rapid City, South Dakota for you. I had a great time. I can't wait to go back. Well, we should just make a thing of it.
Well, let's name this pod Rapid City.
Rapid City?
Yeah.
I was going to call it Cart Girl.
That's good too.
Or Remember When. We did a lot of we did the all the Sopranos.
Yeah.
Now we're just talking. We should have this conversation off the
Sure, of
podcast,
course.
but what are you going to do, Anyway.
Good. I missed the fuck out of you guys.
Missed you too, buddy.
I stayed there way too long.
I'm always worried anytime you leave because you're just the type of guy that is just like, I don't know, I might just, I got a job at the Quickie Mart.
I'm running the oil refinery, buddy.
No, I kept. There was some odd draw to it, I'll admit.
Sure.
But then I kept reminding myself, okay, but it becomes like negative 40 degrees in the winter. And this is only fun. Well, not only, but mainly because I'm back and people are like visiting, like they're happy to see me and stuff. If I lived here, it wouldn't be this all the time.
Right.
But,
you got to picture 3 months in.
Also, like,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's people like trying to hook me up with chicks and stuff because they're like trying to keep me there.
Right.
Sounds terrible.
It was quite nice.
You're like, everyone's throwing pussy at me.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
I hate
quite nice. It was quite nice. But no, it sucks if you. It doesn't suck, but no, it's
No,
not.
it's weird.
It's not that good. It's not as good as it felt if you live there.
Right.
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's that tendency, the new city will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greater
Grass
than
is
everything
always
current.
greener.
Exactly,
Bullshit.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just the same bullshit
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's good to be fucking back there.
It's great to have you back.
And I'll miss those guys too. But jeez.
It's time for the
Fucking
fucking
place.
them to come out here occasionally too,
Yeah.
Enough of this.
Yeah.
We went. One of their friends, one of Joey's childhood friends, works at the liquor store in town.
Eli owns it.
Or
yeah.
he's just telling us stories. He's like, "Oh yeah, that lady, she, they got a Dewey, and so now they take a taxi here every day, and they're here 4 times a day. It's
There's a
fun,
chick-
but
there's-
it's dark.
There's a chick that I was banging, and he would text me and be like, "Oh, she just." This is so funny. She would come in and buy
Just nips.
like 4 times a day.
4 times a day, buying like 2 nips.
2 nips at a time, and he would text me and go, "Oh, she just bought Fireball nips. Expect a call." and then like clockwork, she would call, and I would like screenshot it and be like, "Yeah, you nailed." Like she would do it. Like
It was incredible.
every time she would go to buy nips, she would call. It was so weird.
She called Joey like 14 times one night, and then she blocked Joey. Like Joey was harassing her.
That piece of shit.
We'd be walking into a casino or something, and Joey would be like, "Listen, I'm with people.
Yeah.
Go away." And like,
No,
hang
I
up
wouldn't
the
say
phone.
that. But no, it's like I'm with my family. Like, stop. And then she'd be like, "You're blocked." And then she would unblock me, spam me 10 more times.
Oh boy.
Fun trip.
Yeah. Check out the Patreon, folks. Patreon.com/HateWatchPodcast. Have an episode that'll be out on there in a day or two.
And in the Haddocker electronic shaver for men.
Oh yeah, and also check out the Haddocker. Fuck Manscaped. They won't return our calls. They tricked us.
Joey was 100% right, by the way.
Well, I thought they had to respond. We literally sold more than they asked, and they won't get back to
mine
us.
broke.
Like,
did they ever pay you?
Of course, it broke. Yeah,
mine broke.
Yeah,
it's a shitty product,
suck.
and they support pedophilia.
They fucking suck.
Manscaped is running a sex trafficking ring.
Yeah.
Child sex trafficking.
Unless they call us back, in which case.
One last thing.
Unless they email me back, and then I'm like, oh my God, they're a charity.
If you bought it, return it. Return it if you can.
Yeah. If you bought it, return it.
Yeah, try to return it.
They
Fuck them.
suck my ass. That is nicely shaved because of them. Anyway.
One last thing. I was back, and I was like there was a guy that I wrestled with, and I was like, hey man, we're trying to in LA, we're trying to do this boxing thing because
Oh right, I
agreed to this thing on this podcast that I do, and but it's hard. We can't find a gym and stuff. And he fights like semi-pro MMA stuff, and I was like, do you have a gym that we could do it at? And he goes, yes.
Oh shit, really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So he goes, yeah, I have a gym. They'll let you film, like you do whatever you want. I'll find a fighter you can fight. So if we want to do it there, we can. Maybe we do a trip back and do it there.
That would be awesome.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
That would be awesome.
That sounds like a fun reason to fucking
go back.
Exactly.
All right. Sounds good. Big Deadwood fucking
huge. That's a huge announcement.
Huge announcement. Well, let's not make it an official thing. These psychopaths.
It's an announcement.
Come kill us.
By the way, no one cares,
Yeah.
but no one's like furious about how we're not doing it. But
No, they're not.
Some people have been like, would you drop it already? Just put out the podcast. I don't care.
Well, no, so
it is ridiculous. Like, no, I'm going to have my friend get beaten in the head for you.
Yeah, because we said so like 5 years ago.
Because we said it as a goof.
They're like, no, we love Joey. We don't want it.
They're like, no. We're like, no. He's fighting Adesanya next Saturday.
I don't want the fans to think we're dishonest. All right, so we're willing to die for
Joey's fighting George St. Pierre next week.
but so it's going to be good stuff though. On Patreon,
that'll be great.
Patreon,
a lot more. I'm going to post some of the stuff we talked about in South Dakota on the Patreon too. So check it out. Patreon.com/HateWatchPod. Thank you. Bye.